I want to show you a little bit how you can speed up the writing process by using AI tools. We'll do it with the free tools like ChatGPT or like the OpenAI APIs, various endpoints that you can use to speed up your writing process. And a quick premise before we get to it. I do not suggest to write a whole article with AI because, of course, that looks to me as a modern content spinning, and we don't know for sure how this content is going to be seen in the future, especially if you're trying to do like SEO. But I think integrating those AI tools into your editorial process is quite powerful because you can actually speed up the process of writing. To me, at least to me, it's about writing faster, better, improving the quality of the content, creating even better content. So with the use and the help of the AI, we can actually sort of amplify ourselves. So if you're, of course, a mediocre, if you've not been writing so far, it's a great way to get started if you don't know where to start by using AI tools. If you've been writing so far, you can enhance yourself. So overall, I think it's good for everyone. So where do we start? Simply, of course, there are various tools that you can use for generating content with AI. Some of those tools which are quite useful are like Copy AI or like Jasper, or Write Sonic. I mean, there are many tools that you can use for having a final article written by the AI. But again, those are like paid tools which you can use or not, up to you, that are able also to write entire articles. But right now I want to show you really a way to power up your editorial strategy by using those AI tools. So let's say that you want to write an article about digital marketing. ChatGPT is actually giving us an answer, is generating it for us. Again, the answer is quite good. The ability of ChatGPT to actually generate content that makes sense right now, it's extremely good. However, again, you can also potentially take this old text that ChatGPT is generating right now, copy and paste it into your blog, and it would be, it would make sense for users. But on the other side, again, this is just like a modern content spinning. You're not adding much to it, and there is always the risk of having that classified in the future as AI generated content, and therefore have your blog penalized for it. So I do not suggest it. But the interesting thing is, of course, right now you have an outline for it, and so you can use this outline to start writing on top of it and expand it. Each of those can become a paragraph. You can expand on it. If you know a bit about the topic, you can write what you learned throughout the years. If you know how to research it, you can start researching it. Meaning, right now you have an outline, a very well-defined structure. Pretty much this is a whole article with the introductory paragraph, with the main sub headings, and the final conclusions. And you can use those to expand on top of it. So you can write an article that before it would take you a few hours in 1 hour or so. So you can really write a good article by doing your work, but still speeding things up. These are many of the things that you can do with ChatGPT, and you can do this on many topics. It's really up to you what you want to do. Let's say that you want to write how-to guides. You have a blog about that. That's also like a capability that ChatGPT has. It can do it quite well on procedural stuff, which is not about the current events. It does pretty well, because let's remember that right now ChatGPT has the limitation of being up to date to a certain point in I believe in 2021. So of course it's not going to be doing great in the current news and reporting, but it's going to be doing actually great when it comes to instead the procedural stuff that was true a few months back. And you can pretty much build all set of how-to guides on top of it, from very easy stuff and simple stuff to how to install apps on iPhone, to more like technical stuff, to how, let's say, how to build a Chrome extension, to even more technical stuff, which is related to programming, coding, like how to write Python code. And the most interesting part, as I'll show you in a few seconds, is that you can actually use ChatGPT also to generate code. Of course, in some cases, this code has bugs, but the interesting side, the interesting part is that you can also fix those bugs with the ChatGPT. So even though it might give you codes that has bugs, these can still be fixed through ChatGPT. So you get, for instance, you go on the compiler that you're using to code, you get the error, and you paste it back in ChatGPT, and it's going to tell you where is the bug, and you can fix it right there. So you see that there is a procedure here. Again, this is extremely great content to get started, to give us the chance to actually expand on it, so that we can build new stuff, but we can do it much faster. So it's going to give us an outline structure of the structure of the article, the structure of the auto, and from there we can go. So I just gave it, the instruction to generate with a very simple prompt, nothing fancy. I played with a lot more stuff, and it's able to do, very complex things. But right now I give it a very simple prompt for the sake of giving you, a little bit of an explanation here. And again, here you can use ChatGPT to get the Python code that you can use to create like very simple apps, and you can use these as, for instance, as an how to give specific answers. Again, you need to make sure that this code works. So for instance, you can go in apps like Replit to copy and paste, see if it works, if it gets rendered properly, and based on that you can fix bugs and move forward. So these was many things that you can do with ChatGPT. Again, my suggestion is that you use the tool to actually speed up your process, not that you just take copy and paste, because otherwise it would be just content spinning, which again may work for you in the short term. I'm not sure it's going to work in the long run, but those tools right now seem extremely useful to actually enhance ourselves. So if you are a single person who is writing, you might become in a few weeks like a whole editorial team together, if you're very effective already at writing. If you're not effective in writing, you can become a bit better, and then faster, and then you become like you were like 3 or 4 or 5 people writing at once. So you become your own team, which is quite interesting as well. Other things that you can do, you can go on the OpenAI playground, and which is at beta.openai.com/examples, and from there you can find a lot of applications as well. For instance, I opened up a few of the things that you got in the playground, like for instance you get the essay outline that is quite useful as well. That is one of the applications that you find in the playground, like the essay outline, where you're going to give it, for instance, create an outline for an essay about digital marketing, which is what we said before. And it's going to give you the whole outline. Again, it's going to be helpful to speed up the whole process. Based on that, for instance, you can take these, try to copy and paste it in ChatGPT to see what it's going to generate, if it's going to expand on it, and if it's gonna, once it's going to expand on it, you can expand further. You can reformulate, structure, do your research, and have the humans always in the loop to actually create this content as great content. Otherwise, we're going to just end up populating web with trash, and what's going to happen is that Google is going to be penalizing many of those websites. Another thing that you can do, you can copy and paste, for instance, an article that is quite interesting to you, so that you can have a summary of that article, which you're going to use, for instance, as one of the sub paragraph, which again you're going to use as an intro, and then you're going to expand on it, or like reformulate the whole paragraph. It's going to be useful just not to get stuck. So it's important to understand that those tools are extremely useful to avoid and prevent any writer's block. So if you're having a block right now, there is the AI that can help you to actually get rid of the block and speed up your writing process. You can do the same things also with other of the applications that you have on the playground. Like for instance, there is the applications that is going to give you the main answer to anything that you want. It's I believe it's called factual answering, yeah, is here. So it's again, it's another of the tools that you find on the playground. With the factual answering, you can ask it any questions and it's going to put it in a sort of bullet points. Again, quite useful to expand your writing. And then you can use the Q&A engine that you find on the playground to ask any question. And again, here you're going to get any answer that you're looking at right now to write your article. So imagine that you're generating a list of Q&A based on the searches that users are doing on the web. You can use that Q&A to actually generate answers that you can actually use within like structured data or whatever, or even within the text. But again, always like reformulating them, making sure that it makes sense, making sure that the content is factually correct, that you do your checking, you do your formatting, you do everything that is needed to make it into a good text, because otherwise it's going to be just junk on the web. So again, those are some of the ways that you can use those tools, extremely useful tools to amplify yourself, become a team, an editorial team, and make sure that you can build content, avoid any writer's block, and make sure that you can speed up your process and build even much more relevant content.